Title game, Bama winning 45-40. Coker, 16 of 25, 335 yards, 2 touchdowns. O.J. Howard. This is why you see Coker's total at 335. O.J. Howard wide open for like 3 of his catches, 3 of his 5 receptions, and 208 yards. It's pretty easy when you get and 2 touchdowns. It's pretty easy when you get like 2 50-yard plus touchdowns and another 50-yard reception, because right there you got only get 2 more receptions and you're breaking 200. So Henry, 36 carries, 158 yards, and his counterpart Drake, 1 yard. Wasn't used as much as I thought he might have, but he had a 95-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. The defense, 40 points, 550 yards, 145 rushing, and 1 interception. Not an Alabama defense. Watson, one-man show. That is my mother's words. 30 out of 47, 405 yards, 4 touchdowns in the air, and then an interception. 20 carries, 73 yards, and no touchdowns on the ground. Wayne Gallman, 14 carries, 45 yards, 1 touchdown. Arterius Scott, 4 receptions, 33 yards, and 1 touchdown. Something Peak, 6 receptions, 99 yards, and no touchdowns. Renfort, ex-walk-on, pretty impressive. 7 interceptions, 88 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And their defense led up 45 points and 423 yards. I'm going to touch on some stats here. Henry, I'm going to have a whole video on all the achievements he reached this season. That would probably go under the... I'm going to go over some draft prospects, because, as me and Philip have discussed, there's no way that he's not going to go pro after this season. 2,000 yards on the season, like 28 touchdowns, 3 very productive season. And this Heisman, and just like Heisman Trophy, like 2 Player of the Year awards, and the national championship. I mean, unless his goal, he has to, in my opinion, unless his goal is to help this team. Well, I don't know if he's graduated yet. If that's one of his goals, then he probably won't leave if he hasn't graduated. Also, if his goal is to help this team grow, because there's 2 sophomore running backs that now freshman running back. I don't know when that switches over, but they're going to be sophomores next year, and I'm a little concerned. So here's like the breaking down of the stats. Okay, so time of possession pretty much split. Alabama 30 minutes and 31 seconds, and Clemson 29 and 29. 29 minutes and 29 seconds. Third down, that's what was going to be won. Alabama 9 out of 18, and Clemson 6 out of 14. You can see where teams won. All right, first downs, 31 Clemson first downs compared to 18. But as I've touched on before, Henry had a 50-yard run. And O.J. Howard had 3 50-yard receptions. And then we didn't even have an offensive drive because of Kenny Drake's touchdown. So right there, there's 4 50-yard plus plays. So that takes 20 first downs out of the equation right there. Because I'm just saying 20 10-yard increments, so 20 first yards. So, and then you had Kenny Drake, 95 yards. So he got at the 5. Let's just say he got back to the 20. That's 8 of them. So right there, we might have gone 28 more yard first downs. Well, maybe a little more than that. Probably a little less, probably around maybe 20 more. But there was some big plays made. So, yards per play, there was, for Alabama, passing 13.4 yards per play in the air. That's on 25 yards, 25 attempts. So if you multiply that, you're going to get 30. I don't know what that is. Wait, rushing, 46 attempts, and 3 yards. Overall, they had 71 plays, I'm now trying to. I think I now need to expect it because I think I've seen a lot of games where if you had 71 plays, I think that might be the norm now in Alabama. And they had 6.6 yards per play. Clemson, they had 8.6 yards in the air on 47 attempts and 3.8 on 38 attempts rushing, and 6.4 on 85 plays. So overall, there was 49 first downs. As I said, a lot of big plays made. Both teams, I feel like that number, if there wasn't as many, as they said on Alabama, already 20. Clemson had, I think, maybe 2 or 3 big plays there. So maybe like 30. We could have easily have looked at 79 if there wasn't the big plays. But that's part of the game. And luck, I think I know why Bama won. They made big plays when they needed to, and that was it. So overall on third down, 15 for 32. There was 85 points, 11 touchdowns, and 3 field goals. 1 missed field goal and 1 blocked field goal. And then the guy who blocks it goes back for Alabama, goes back like this. Because when you block a field goal in the championship game, you gotta let people know. I did that. Or maybe he was depending on his belief. I don't know if this is belief. Maybe he was thanking God for that. Who knows? He would know though. But if that's his belief, I would do that same thing too. I mean, and then there was 1,023 yards. So there was 72 passing plays in this game. 46 of 72 for both QBs, 740 passing yards, 6 touchdowns in the air, and 1 interception. And there was they had a 63% completion. I guess that's like on average. I feel like amount of high threat. I mean, good QBs. I mean, there's obviously going to be the ones that are not as good. But 84 rushing attempts, 283 yards, and 4 touchdowns. I'm going to break down plays, yards, and yards per play. Here, this is all overall. 156 plays, as I mentioned, 72 passing. That's 46%. Remember these two, and those 84 rushing at 54. And there was 1,023 yards. That is not including, I don't think that includes passing. Not passing, the punt returns and the kick returns. And there was no finger gained on that interception, so I would say that. But 740, that counts as 72% of the yards, and 283 rushing, 28. Yards per play, there was 6.5 overall. 10.2 passing yards per play. Yards per rush, yards per pass. Let's not get those two confused. Yards per passing yards per play, because then our numbers will drop a bit. And then 3.3 yards per rush. That's pretty much basic. And if my rushing gets to be 3.3, that's 5 rush, about 3.3, 3.3. If the refs don't mess up, I got a first down. Now, as I said, there was 3 things I mentioned that Alabama gained momentum on. 2 of them came near the end, and 1 of them gave them momentum to start getting themselves comfortable, because it stopped Clemson it was an interception in the first half by Eddie Jackson. I think right before, I'm like, Alabama's secondary needs to play like it was in Georgia and Texas A&M. The line needs to play like Auburn, Florida, Michigan State. And our offense just needs to play like Auburn, when we played against Auburn, Michigan State, Georgia, and A&M. Actually, I can't say that because like some of our touchdowns came from there. Now, special teams needs to play like A&M, because there was some Georgia, A&M, and like Milton, Charleston Southern. Charleston Southern was secondary. Our special teams, punt return, and then our kicker, like the Iron Bowl, maybe, because I don't remember. Our kicker was doing good at that point. I didn't care. But interception by Eddie Jackson. It was an onside kick that made Saban smile. If you follow my Instagram, Bama Max 1, which everyone probably does, he watches these, because like You're not gonna find this on like the home screen on YouTube and stuff. Like I put a photo of him smiling, which is rare because you don't smile. And then the kickoff return, as I mentioned, because that kind of put it Bama up. Apparent. So Dabo Swinney on the onside kick though was shy to say no, that's not legal or something. I don't know what he was arguing. I can't tell. But he didn't seem too happy. But maybe he was saying that it was a down ball, but like literally the ref goes up. He said it was pretty much legal, and the ball was dead once he caught it. And I'm like, how many Bama? And then I was like joking around, how many Bama fans actually care that we couldn't, like the yard on the return didn't count? And then and then who cared because like 51, and then 2 plays later, 51-yard touchdown to O.J. Howard. But in the combo, Saban says to Tominardi, say, hey, can we get a smile now? He's like, one more game. Tominardi said, can we get that smile? He's like, you got it, baby. Then and those are rare because Saban's usually yelling at a player for make a mistake. But again, Alabama winners 45-40. Player of the game was offensive O.J. Howard. And then defensive was Eddie Jackson, if I'm correct. Sadly, I don't think the crowd was stupid. They didn't do the SEC chant, but some players took over the SEC Nation thing and was doing the SEC cheer. It's SEC. Because, hey, it's back where it belongs. Let's go. 9 out of 10 seasons, it's been here. Past 10 seasons, a team's been in the title game. 10 teams have been in the title game in the last 10 seasons. The only time we didn't have one was last year, but we had 2 1 year. And it's back where it belongs all time.